All right, let's just jump straight into it with a question that, well, it might make you a bit uncomfortable. What if you knew, like, exactly how many weeks you had left to live? Because today we're going to break down the one thing you can never, ever get back: your time.
4,000 weeks. That's it. If you're lucky, that's what an average lifespan looks like. And seeing it just laid out like that, it kind of hits you, right? It's not this endless thing we imagine. It's a countdown. Now look, the point here isn't to freak you out. It's to wake you up. And this quote, it gets right to the heart of the whole thing. See, we all pretty much get the same amount of time, give or take. The real difference, the thing that splits a life of meaning from a life of what-ifs, is what we actually do with those weeks. It's not about time just slipping away. It's about consciously deciding, nope, I'm not going to waste this.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we've got to first blow up one of the biggest lies we're all told about our most valuable asset.
You've heard it a million times, right? Time is money. Well, it's a massive lie. And here's why it's so different. Money, you can always make more of it. You can lose everything, and hey, you can earn it back. But time, once a single second is gone, that's it. It's gone for good. You can't just go out and earn more hours. You can't stash minutes in a savings account for a rainy day. Every single moment is a one-and-done deal.
Let's make this even more real, okay? Just think about it. 2 hours a day, what does that even look like? Mindless scrolling on your phone, flipping through channels, just putting things off. It feels like nothing, right? Just a little bit of time. But when you add it all up over a year, you are literally throwing away an entire month of your life. A full 30 days. Just gone. Now imagine what you could do with an extra, totally free, totally focused month every single year.
So where the heck is all this time actually going? Well, as you're about to see, the things stealing it from you are probably hiding right in front of your face.
Okay, get ready for this, because these numbers they're just staggering. The average person will spend 7 years of their life on social media. 7. And then you tack on another 3 years just watching TV. That's a full decade. A whole 10 years of your precious 4,000 weeks spent just passively watching stuff. I mean, just ask yourself honestly, what did you really, truly get from all those thousands of hours? Now here's a thought. Let's say you don't even try to cut it all out. That's kind of unrealistic, right? But what if you just clawed back half of that social media time? That simple change hands you back 3.5 years of your life. That's a huge solid block of time, just given right back to you. We're talking 42 months. And what could you do with all that reclaimed time? I mean, you could totally reinvent your life. You could master a skill that lands you a dream job. You could build a business from scratch, learn a couple of new languages, get into the best shape of your life, or just finally focus on your mental and emotional health. See, this isn't about needing some brand new life. It's about stopping that just one more scroll from devouring the life you've already got. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. And yeah, the cost is pretty shocking. So how do we actually fight back? Well, this next part is all about the toolkit. Practical, real systems you can start using right away to take back control. First up in the toolkit is a really powerful idea you might have heard of, the Pareto principle. You probably know it as the 80-20 rule, and it's a super simple but game-changing concept. Most of the good stuff in your life, your best results, they're going to come from a tiny fraction of your actions.
So here's the big takeaway from that. Being busy, it's not the same thing as being effective. Not even close. You can think of it like this. Probably 80% of what we do all day is just distraction. It's busy work that doesn't really move the needle. The whole game is about finding that vital 20%, the stuff that actually produces 80% of your results. And then you have to protect that time like your life depends on it.
And a really practical way to do that is with something called time blocking. Instead of just having a vague to-do list, you actually design your day. You give every single minute a job. So for example, you could block out 90 minutes first thing in the morning for your biggest, most important goal, before the rest of the world starts screaming for your attention. Then maybe you block an hour in the evening for learning or just thinking. All the little things, emails, errands, they get squeezed into smaller dedicated slots. The point is, you run your day. Your day doesn't run you.
And this really gets to the core idea behind it. Look, if you only work when you feel like it, your dreams are basically just hostages to your moods, which change all the time. But when your calendar is built around your mission, you show up. You do the work whether you feel like it or not. Why? Because your purpose is just way more important than some temporary feeling.
This next one is your ultimate filter for protecting your time. You gotta remember, every single time you say yes to something, a request, an invitation, a new project, you are automatically saying no to literally everything else you could be doing with that time. So the rule is simple. If it's not a hell yes, if you're not genuinely excited about it, then it has to be a no. A polite no, a respectful no, but a firm no.
Okay, so we've got the tools now. But for any of this to actually stick, we need to lock it into a deeper mindset. This last part is all about shifting your perspective so that wasting time just feels impossible.
The ancient Stoics had this practice called memento mori. I know it sounds a little dark, but stick with me, because it's actually an amazing tool for getting clear. It just means remember you will die. And when you really sit with that, the fact that your time is limited, all the small stuff just melts away. The petty arguments, the dumb distractions, worrying about what other people think, it all becomes meaningless. It forces you to ask what really matters.
And when you start thinking that way, you realize something profound. Death itself, that's not the enemy. That's not the thing you should be afraid of. There's something so much worse.
A wasted life is futility. That's the real enemy. Regret. The real tragedy isn't dying, it's getting to the end of your 4,000 weeks and realizing you never really, truly lived. And that fear, the fear of a wasted life, that is the ultimate fuel. It's what pushes you to live with this urgent purpose. Not a panicked, stressed-out feeling, but a calm, focused drive to make every single day count.
So let's wrap this all up into a simple formula. Your guide to living a time-rich life. First, you've got to prioritize your energy. Sleep well, eat well, move, because time without energy is worthless. Second, focus deeply, one thing at a time. Multitasking is a myth. Third, check in with yourself every week. Ask 2 questions. What stole my time, and what gave me energy? And finally, learn to say no with love. Treat your time like a private garden, not a public park.
And I want to leave you with just one last question to think about. If you knew you only had 1 year left, what would you change starting today? Not someday, not next week. What would you change right now? Because the truth is, one day you will be begging for just 1 more hour, 1 more sunrise. Don't wait for that day. The clock is ticking on your 4,000 weeks. It's time to make them count.